Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you let me know if you can see my screen? If you can see my screen, okay, great. Janet, I think she says she can see my screen. Let me see if I can. So you can unmute yourself just so that you can. Okay, great. So we're back. I know it's that time of the year again where we have to do all of this and try and see how we can get everybody. And I'm seeing a number of regulars that have been with us for donkey years, right? Mr. Lawrence, how you doing, sir? It's been it's been a minute. Thank you so much for joining as usual.
Great, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Um, Thank you so much. Um, so please, again, don't forget. Typically, the way I like to do this is for you to just tell us, just write down what you do, what you do for a living. Again, so that we can try and see how we can make this as practical as possible. And we have about 4 minutes to kick off. We would kick off. Four minutes. Don't forget, please write down what you do. Yeah, Pizza Sunday, let us know what you do. And if it's your first time here, let us know what
Yeah,
you
this is my
do. And
first
if
time.
it's your first. Oh wow. Thank you for joining. I hope that it would be okay, good. So distributor to NBC, that's Nigerian Bottling Company, right?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. Peter Sunday, you were in the last strategy factory, weren't you?
Yes, yes, I was there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I remember we
Mhm.
had a conversation.
Oh, yes.
We had a conversation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. By the way, how was the strategy factory for you though?
Yeah, it was fine. And I learned some new things. Yeah,
Fantastic.
it was cool. It was cool. Very, very cool.
But by the way, just so that everybody knows that Peter Sunday is not a small man. Peter Sunday runs a distributorship. I think you said you guys do 2 billion a month.
Yes, per month.
Yes. So they do 2 billion every freaking month, too. So that you know that this is not they're not selling minerals. Right. And by the way, they do 2 billion every month, and you're not even in Lagos, right?
No, we're not in Lagos. We're in Ogun State.
Ogun State, yes.
Yeah.
In Ogun State, 2 billion a month in revenue.
Yeah.
That's about 24 billion a year.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. That's impressive. That's really impressive.
Thank you.
That's really impressive. And let me tell you why it's impressive. It's impressive on two levels. One is the revenue, because again, I always tell people revenue is important because revenue tells you that the market is voting for you. It's not everybody that sells. It's not every distributor that does 2 billion in a month. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But it also, for me, is incredible because of what it means in terms of your ability to sell, to scale. The operations that is required, the operational efficiency required to sell 2 billion worth of products every
Month.
single month. Everything that has to go right for that to happen in itself is a logistic miracle. So for me, that's the reason why I'm super impressed. How many of us are impressed? Impressed. 2 billion a month in sales. And there's quite a number of us, quite a number of us in the room who do quite incredibly well. So I'm waiting for the rest of us. Please, I'm going to give us 3 minutes. Yes, Jerry, BDO Elegant Print, Business Development Officer. Okay. Um, I'm going to give us 3 minutes, just 3 minutes. Please write down what you do, your name and what you do. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm looking at some of us operate startup e-commerce platform as well as running logistics and delivery service right here in Lagos. Into printing, that's Bath or so processing and export. Rotimi Abiru is not Greek. Confidence, I think, is in real estate. Survey Alpha. Now gonna go take you to if I see you. Olayinka is in laundry service. Sorry, I'm gonna have to mute everyone. Sorry. Hope you guys don't mind. Okay, good. Okay, good. So everybody's so we all want to grow our businesses. I should mention that one of the reasons why we're doing this session is also because the 90-day program is starting tomorrow, or rather, essentially, this session is going to kick off the start of the 90-day program. So I'm going to talk us through what it's going to be like, how it's going to be, and what are the things that we are going to need to do, and how it's going to run, and what the focus of this 90-day program is about, and the likes. But let's just get into this, and then, of course, we'll take questions, right? So, everybody here, I don't think I need to introduce myself. This is Lim Simple. It means life, investing, money, and business made simple. I'm only making this introduction because maybe a few people joined us from Instagram or what have you, but we typically run almost a closed system. So almost everybody that's here probably would have seen would have, been in the community for a while. And I've seen some big men. One of my guys from Dubai is here. Just can you let us know from what part of the world that you are in, if you can? From what part of the world are you joining us from? Good. Good. So we want to talk about 5 factors for transformational growth. And I would list all 5 of them, and then we'll just spend some time talking through every single one of them. They are very, very, very important things. And these are the things. So before I get into that, I want to walk you through what our process is like, right? Yinka, please, I hope, please, Melvis, Yinka, nobody's sharing the link in the actual convention group. Why? Is there any specific reason why the people who are fully registered for this event are not even getting invited? That is very strange.
The link will be sent to them right now. I think it's an oversight somehow.
It's a very strange concept. Okay. Please, I'm waiting for that link to be sent in now, because I need to.
I already sent it.
Oops. Okay, good. So typically the way we operate is, by the time we teach anything publicly, it's usually because it's gone through um, 2 very thorough processes. One is that we've worked with it and it worked for us as an organization, because as a rule, and even for me personally, I don't share anything that I haven't personally practiced. It's just my personal preference, it's just me, but I don't do that. Then when it works for us, then we have a small group of people that we work with. Our mastermind community, we work it with them over and over again. And then when it works, we then, as time goes, share some of these things publicly, and the like. So the 5 factors for transformational growth, and there are 5 things. One of them is strategy, and we're going to talk a little bit about strategy. If you need to find out more about strategy, you can come to Strategy Factory. Then the second is the metamorphosis, which is, the transformation that happens in your mind. The third is the environment. The fourth is the relationships. And then the fifth is the accountability. If you figure these 5 things out, you are most likely going to have the quality of life that you desire. Trust me, it's I can personally vouch 100% that you would get the quality of life you desire if you pay attention to these 5 things in your life. So the first of them, so how many of us are ready? If you're ready, just type ready so that I know that we're together on this matter. All right, who's ready? Ready. Good, great, thank you. So the first of them is strategy, right? And strategy is on 3 levels. So let me just try and see how I can just help us understand it. So strategy is on 3 levels. So there's what you call corporate strategy, and I've always defined that as the strategy that enables us know where to play. Right? Corporate strategy is strategy that is designed to help us understand where to play. A very, very important strategic tool in helping us figure this one out is the BCG matrix. Many of us might have heard of this. Well, if you've been to Strategy Factory, you've probably heard of this, right? So this is a tool that is very important, right? So I'll give you typical example. So I want to do real estate. The decision to do land or housing, the decision to sell in the outskirts of Ogun State or in Banana Island, the decision to do site and service or just purely in fact, the decision to sell to build residential or commercial, all of that decision is corporate strategy, right? Because corporate strategy is strategy that helps you determine where do I want to play. And one of the things that determine where you're going to play is the BCG metrics. And it's sort of like the knowledge as to is there is the market growing, and do I have the probability of achieving the largest market share? So the BCG metrics is essentially sort of the relationship between your business, the growth potential of the market, and the possibility of gaining the most market share. That's what the BC metric is about. It's a bit more deeper than that. We have like a full class on that at the Strategy Factory. You should visit the Strategy Factory if you haven't. So that's that. The next is, and so corporate strategy is very important, right? You should be very clear as to where you want to play, because sometimes you're playing in a market that is already dying. Do you understand? Like, for example, it's like somebody's opening a cyber cafe today, right? It's already dead, market. Are there more people online? Yes, but does it make sense to do that? Doesn't make sense. The next is what we now know as business strategy, right? Business strategy is the strategy that enables you to win where you decided to play. So, for example, I decide I want to sell in Banana Island. I want to sell exclusively luxury properties in the exclusive neighborhoods like Banana Island. Thank God. But the moment I say that, I realize quickly that I am not the only person selling in Banana Island. So now I need to figure out, why should somebody come to me in Banana Island as opposed to somebody else? So the goal of, so let me circle back a little bit. The goal of the corporate strategy is to clarify on positioning. The goal of business strategy is to clarify on differentiation. In the broad sense as well, because we're still going to go. So the tool for business strategy is called generic strategy by Michael Porter, right? So we have BCG metrics by Boston Consulting Group. Then we have business and generic strategies by Michael Porter. He brought this to life in his book Competitive Strategy that he wrote, I think, in 1984, something like that, right? So generic strategies, for those of us being Strategy Factory, also know that it's cost, leadership, differentiation, and then focus. I'm not going to go too deep into that. You should already know that. If you don't know that, there's a Strategy Factory workshop in like 14 days or 13 days. Just attend that one, just so that you can understand some of these things. And then the last is functional strategy, or what we call operational strategy. So operational strategy is the strategy that enables us build around what our differentiation, why should people come to us? So let's say we decide one of the reasons why we want to, or one of the ways we want to win, is through exceptional customer service. So our operational or functional strategy would be to reorganize our company to align with providing exceptional customer service. Do you understand? So it means that if you look at the organization and how it is structured departmentally, you can tell what's important to the organization. And that's one reason I tell some of my friends. I have friends in real estate. You run a real estate company, and business is a little tough. Then you dabble into a Greek, and then you start promising people 40% for life if they buy into your cassava farm or whatever. I agree that it's not impossible, but if you then look at the composition of the management, and I'm like, okay, so when we're done selling, how do we deliver? Is there somebody in this room who understands the risk and understands the promise that we're making to these guys, or are we just kicking the stone down the road? So, but when you figure out what your strategy is, because at the end of the day, you want to just figure out what exactly should I do. And that's what strategy is. What exactly should I be doing to get me to where I'm going to? And all great strategies are accompanied by campaigns. Campaigns. Now, let me explain. This is very important too. You see, if somebody comes to you and says, let us strategize for you, right? This strategy has to lead to a campaign. Now, you would understand this when you understand the history or the genesis of, oh, Cameroon. Someone's there from Cameroon. Oh, Ranson, how you doing? Someone's there from Dubai also. To understand the how strategy became a thing. Strategy became a thing from war, actual war, right? In fact, the guy who made strategy a thing is Napoleon Bonaparte. And he's also the one who popularized or essentially institutionalized the idea of the mission statement. So what usually used to happen is that when they're at war, right? The king or the emperor or whoever this person is, is there, right? Right in the center of the battle. And so they go out in a certain formation, but they get to the battlefield, and that formation, the opponent has a counter formation that is dangerous to that formation. But you know the way soldiers are, they just keep charging on. So somebody needs to change. They need to change their approach. But the problem is they're soldiers, right? So to change their approach on the battlefield, information has to flow backwards to the general, and the general has to think through it, and the general has to give another instruction, and that information has to flow all the way forward to the front, and then the formation changes. And oftentimes a lot of people die, in that approach. So Napoleon decided to take a different approach, right? So at the beginning, he would with his generals, give them mission statements, which is, this is what you want to accomplish. And then they would think through the strategy of it so that in the event where something happens, and then of course they would have done some scenario analysis. So if something happens, the guy has the power to do something, to change course, to do certain things so that the decision-making timeline is shortened and things can happen as fast as they can. So I say that to say this. Any strategy document you have in itself must be tested through a strategic campaign, right? A strategy is not a book report. A strategy is an action document. A strategy document is an action document, and it's a document that we should act on. So, very, very important. Very, very important. Anybody has any questions to ask me with regards to strategy? Great. So the next is metamorphosis. Now, what is metamorphosis? Metamorphosis is the transformation that we go through. And here's the truth, right? You're here, you run a business, you're an executive member of a company, middle level management, or maybe you're just starting, right? This is where you are. This is what you want to be. And unfortunately, this person cannot be this person. This person has to change and change and change, right? You cannot be You cannot become what we want by remaining who we are. And so this is a very important thing and let me explain what I mean. Never ever define yourself in definite terms in a way that does not encourage your growth. Human beings can evolve, right? You can transform. You should transform. In fact, you must transform if you must get to your goal, right? You have to be a completely different person in some respects, right? You need to learn better. You need to understand better. You need to change. There's a lot of things, right? So the law of metamorphosis states that everything starts within first before it then goes without, right? Whatever you want must happen inside of you first before it would happen outside of you. In fact, anything that happens outside of you that hasn't happened inside of you has not really happened. What does that mean? It means, see the millions and the billions and all of those things you're hoping to happen? You need to start to internalize it. And this is the best advice I would have for us. And it's something that I've had to do myself and still do, by the way. Find a time. One of my mentors always says something. She's late now. Billionaire, multi billionaire. Her revenue was off the charts. Profitability was incredible, right? And she would always say, stop and think. So I recommend that you if you can't find 20 minutes a day that you can take a walk, then find 20 minutes a week that you can take a walk. And just take a walk and just think about your future. Think about where you're going. Try and put your life in a bit of perspective. Many of us haven't had the opportunity in life to stop and think. Let me ask a question. You don't have to answer it, but I appreciate if you do. How many of us in the last 7 days? Now, I'm not talking about worrying. No. I'm not saying how many of us have worried about our lives. No. Worrying and thinking are two different things, right? To worry, you make an assumption that the worst is going to happen, and then you spend your time thinking about it. To imagine or to think, in the sense in which I'm meaning it, is that you make a positive assumption about your future, and then you start to ruminate on it. How many of us have taken at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes in the last 7 days to just take a walk without your phone and just think about your future? I'm not talking about doing it in your car or doing it in your house. I'm just saying at some point you just took a walk and thought about your future in the last 7 days. If you have, type yes. If you haven't, type no. Let's see how many of us have. If you have, type yes. If you haven't, type no. In the last 7 days. In the last 7 days. So you see that we have a mixture of yeses and nos. Great. This is very important, right? That so many of us are what we like to call, we are living life in coma. We're living without any significant self-awareness. And we are living what we call a reactive life. You're just responding to everything that is happening around you. And now I'm not asking, I'm not asking you to, I'm not saying when you sat down and said something like, Why is my life like this? You know, why is my life? No, that's worrying, no. Right? Now, I want to ask another question. I want to ask another question, and I'd like you to be honest with me. How many of us in this room now have a culture, a culture, right? How many of us have a culture? You have a specific time in the day, in the week, that is dedicated to you thinking and planning about your future. How many of us? If you have, yes. If you don't have, no. Now, this is different from saying if you've thought about it in the last 1 week, right? Because sometimes you just thought about it. And there's no problem with saying no. It just means that, we need to. Great. So a lot of us say no. And let me tell you something personally. You see, this thing that I just described very easily has been the most powerful thing that I've had to do in my life. It is the most important thing I get to do in my life. Personally, the most important thing I get to do in my life. Think of it like the act of sharpening your axe, right? And let me tell you why this is important. You see, we live in a world that is always pulling for our attention, always pulling for our attention. And I do this every evening, by the way. On most evenings, some evenings I, come back late, but my routine is simple. Between 8 and 9 p.m., except for nights like this, when I'm doing a session like this, you can't even catch me on the phone. Because when I take a walk like that, I don't even go with my phone. I don't go with my phone. I just spend that time think. And should I tell you the funny thing is that I've been doing this process of thinking through things since 2008. So 2008 would be how many years ago now? Maybe close to, this will be 18 years now. I've been doing this for 18 years, since 2008. For 18 years, and I can tell you for free, it is the most important thing that I've had to do. Not one of the most important things. It is the most important thing that I had to do personally. The most important thing that I've had to do. The most important thing, right? Very, very, very important that you take some time out, right, to think bigger of yourself. And this is very important. Strategy cannot deliver a result beyond our self-concept. And let me tell you a few things that I do so that you can try this out, right? The first thing that I started to learn to do is from time to time, I would take an incredibly large amount of, a large number in money, for example, and I would try and figure out what my plan would be if I had that money. So, for example, many of us, or some of us in this room, do not. Okay, let me start with this. And again, there is no crime in saying no or yes. How many of us in this room right now have a detailed plan? It's written down, a plan, it's written down of what you would do if you just suddenly came about 10 billion naira. 10 billion naira hits you right now, or somebody meets you right now, somebody meets you, and the person says, I want to invest 10 billion naira into you and whatever it is that you're about. And can you just tell the person, you know what, wait, I have a plan, pull it out of your notes and hand it over to the person. 10 billion. 10 billion. written down, because all the people that say I do, I'm going to ask you to send it to me. And if you send it to me, I'm going to probably work with you to see how you can get that kind of money. In fact, but before I work with you, I'm going to ask you what your revenue is. Because if your revenue is anything above 2 billion, you should have, it's too close for you. So you should have a 10 billion revenue, a 10 billion plan. It's important. So that's the first thing that I do, right? I just take an incredibly large number, 200 billion, 30 billion, 400 billion, and I plan for it, right? Because it's better that you have a plan and no opportunity. You don't have, oh, I don't have, but I have plan. You don't have, you don't have, oh, bro. You don't have, oh. If it's not written down, you don't have it. Salah, you don't have it. If it's not written down. Because it's when you've written it down that you can articulate it properly. Exactly. Eddie is asking a question now, which is the exact thing we're talking about. How can somebody who has not seen a billion make plans for 10? That is what we're talking about. The reason why you haven't seen a billion is that you haven't made plans for 10. Do you understand? We're saying now that you get your mind comfortable with certain. Now, for those of us that have been to Strides Factory recently, or at any point in time, we have an activity called the Sevens, right? And one of the things that activity shows is how that when you hit your limit and you can't compute numbers at that level, you sabotage yourself. It's a very interesting activity, by the way. If you haven't been tried, you should be there. But it's very, very, very critical that you get your mind comfortable with stupendously large numbers. That's one of the reasons why when people come to the Strategy Factory or come to any of our programs, we denominate all of our conversation in billions. At the beginning, it was tough, but now it's easy because we do, we're a billionaire company, multi-billionaire company. We have businesses in our community. I sit down with people with $1 trillion revenue now, and it's ridiculous. It's stupendously ridiculous what is possible when you just allow your mind to do that. So that's the first thing. I allow my mind, wander and just plan for this ridiculous amount of money, right? The second thing I plan for, and I'll tell you the day I started this particular thing. It was in 2009. I was going to a meeting. I was in Transcorp Hilton in Abuja. I was going to a meeting. Please listen to me. I'm going to a meeting. I'm in the elevator. And in the next floor, guess who walks into the elevator? Rather, I'd walked into the elevator because the meeting rooms are in M1, M2. So I'd walked into the elevator, and just before the elevator closes, guess who walks into the elevator? Patutomi. Patutomi walks into the elevator, walks in, presses wherever it is that it's going. I'm going to M2. It's probably going a little further, maybe the 11th floor, the restaurant at the 11th floor. And I froze. I didn't know what to say to the man. I wanted to meet this man for a very long time. And then he was in the elevator with me. And I froze. And I remember that day I said to myself, I'm not going to freeze like that again. So another thing that I practice when I take those walks is meeting high value people and engaging. So I simulate a conversation in my mind and I engage. How many of us here have had simulation? Because I'm going to show you, those simulations come to pass. So I've simulated the conversation with Dangote so many times. And guess what? I met him, right? 2 weeks ago. So that's the second thing that I do. The third thing that I do is that I try to think about my past from the perspective of my future. So all of the things that I'm going through, I like to Imagine that I've already succeeded and somebody asks me how I went through all of that. And so I spend a lot of time explaining it to them. That's another very wonderful thing that I do. But guess what? You have to improve your self-concept, right? Your self-concept has to change before. And see, these things are important because they're they can be seen. You know, have you ever seen somebody who says, I've tried everything, nothing is working? That's a self-concept problem. Because the pride of saying you've tried everything itself is a problem. So let's move. To transform your mind, you must go to places and see what we could become. One of the things that helps me also to improve my mind, and I'll talk about it next, which is the environment, is back in the day, I started to go to it was Sheraton back in the day because I was in mainland. Well, I said I was in mainland because I'm moving, but so I would go to Sheraton. I would sit down there at the lobby, buy a cup of juice. It was like 1,000 at the time. They'll give it to you with granules. And I would just sit down there for hours and just study how wealthy people moved. I'll just look at them and just look at how they moved and look at them out. Look at how they move. It transformed my life. See, you see, these things are very easy. It's like one of my mentors told me. They're easy things and they're easy to believe that they're not true. But don't say they're not true until you've tried it and it did not work. Right? Very important. So go to places that look like the quality of your life. In fact, I tell people that one of the major reasons why people don't achieve their goals is that they write their goals in their house. Don't ever write your goals in your house. Go to a place that look like your goal and write your goals there. I'm telling you, there's nothing as powerful as that. The third factor is your environment. Environment play a very, very important role. And when we talk about environment, we're not just talking about where you live. Because sometimes you're in a situation where you can't do much about the area in which you live. The question is, how neat is the environment that you live? Transform your internal environment, your house. We're also talking about your emotional environment, the kind of friends that you put in and around you. We're also talking about your spiritual environment, the kind of people that you worship with. We're also talking about, because unfortunately, I was listening to one pastor recently, and he said that there are a lot of people who might not achieve their full potential, and it might be because of the church they attend, because they have a big dream and they're in a small-minded church. And unfortunately, they would only see the things that they have to do from a small-minded perspective. Your environment is very critical to your life. If you can, and this is only if you can, don't quote me, quote me, because I've put the caveat. If you can, I'm not going to remember Dr. Adeze's session during the convention. She said something with regards to environments. If you can remember it and you can type it in and you get exactly what she said, I would do 10,000 naira airtime to your phone. If you can remember exactly what she said, there's a particular thing that she said. Type it. Let's see. The first person to get it right, word for word, I would ask for your phone number and I would transfer 10,000 naira airtime to your phone right now. I'm saying 10,000 naira airtime because I can't send you 10,000. Everybody here is a big man. But she said something very critical. Exactly. When Mimo said it, I'd rather live in the worst house in the best neighborhood. When were you at the convention? I think you were, or were you? But that's a very, very direct quote. Yes, fantastic. I'd rather live in the worst house in the best neighborhood. So, oh yes, write your phone number. Let me send the 10,000 airtime. Yes. Now, please write it. I'm waiting for the number. And whether it's MTN, these days people put their number, so we don't really know. Like my number now is like my number is a 9 mobile number, but I've bought. I mean, I'm in MTN because that mobile was after my life at some point. 67892787. Yes. Now, I want to ask another question, and this question is related to the same thing, to a similar thing, but it's in the book. It's in Otedola's book. Otedola made a Otedola did something very drastic as regards to environment. All right. He sold his house somewhere and went to use the money to rent a house somewhere. So where did he sell his house? And where did he rent his house? And why? Anybody? Same 10,000 naira airtime. Well, that's not correct. He didn't sell it in Ikeja to rent at Ikoyi. That's not correct. Or rather, that's not accurate. That's the right word. So I'm looking for accurate. Exactly. He sold his house in Ikeja GRA and rented at VI. Oh yeah, okay. Let me send you your number. So it's very important. Now, I'm saying this to say this, right? If you can, I'm not saying that you should. If you can move to a better quality neighborhood. If you can. Sometimes it might mean that you move sent. So let me tell you why. Now, again, like I said, I would not share something that I haven't done. I've made 3 moves in my life, and I'm about to make one in 2 weeks, and it's all for the same reasons. Right? Did I send money to Ekene, or did I send another money to Webimo? Because she's congratulating me the second time. Ekene, please, can you let me know if you got yours? I think you should have. Please do. 3. Oh, okay. She was just okay, cool. So here's the reason why it's important. Now, the only thing I tell people is don't be one of those people that upgrade your life every year. I think that as a typical, if you're reasonable, you should figure out how to upgrade your life once every 5 years. Again, I learned this from a mentor. I do it. I make no significant changes in my life for 5 years. And it's just me, right? Whether it's a car, I don't buy cars. I only buy cars at 5 years interval. And we have 3 cars now. One of them was bought 25. The other one was bought in 2020. And the previous one was bought in 2015, 16. Yeah. So one of the cars is 11. One of the car, I'm telling you, it's crazy, but but I also move places. And I do that because you have to stay in a place that inspires you. And most people say, oh, move into a nice neighborhood so that you can have rich neighbors. Well, that's true, but that's not the reason why I make the move. The rich neighbors are great, but I don't move in because I want to network with those rich neighbors. It's not, maybe you do sometimes, but I don't, it's not a primary reason for me. It's that when you move into an environment, so let me give you an example. If you drive on your streets and your car is so good, it's the standout car, and everybody knows that it's yours and it's the most, in quotes, fantastic car in the area, you might not know it, but you're already self-sabotaging, right? Because at some point you're inspiring, but by the time you become the only guy that is so standout, you now know that everybody knows you have money. You're now a target. And so you're not going to want something more because you're not going to want to feel like you're showing yourself. And you see, not wanting something more might also then mean that you don't essentially build your business. Because again, don't forget, many a time when all these very wealthy guys buy all these expensive toys, it's they don't buy because they've been saving for it. They buy it because they're trying to save money on taxes. There's a lot of things that I can't get into here, right? So I recommend. So what I do is I'll give you an instance, right? Our business hit 1 billion, I think, after we made the move to this particular place that we're in, about 4 or 5 years ago, right? And I still don't know who my neighbors are, but I just know that I moved into an area where the neighbors have Rolls Royces, and then they have really nice houses, and all of a sudden I realize that I still have to do more. Now, you might think about it as frivolous, but let me tell you what that more has enabled us to do as an organization. That more has enabled us to ensure that every member of my team has had the opportunity between 2021 and today, has had the opportunity to double their salaries every single year up until now. I'm talking about there are people who used to earn 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, who earn 600 and more, even a little over that, right? 800, they're about now. There are people who every member of our team that has at least done one full year working gets an opportunity to travel somewhere in the world. So we took the team to Dubai this year. It was Singapore last year. It was Qatar the year before. It was Ghana the year before. So the biggest beneficiaries of these things, it's not even been me. It's been the team. It's been my ability to transform the lives of the people that work with me. But it happened because I moved into an environment that did not allow me to stay small. I don't know if you get that, right? Environment is greater than willpower. Environment is greater than strategy. The environment that you're in is so powerful, it can destroy your willpower. It's like if you don't want to drink and you hang around bars all day, all night, it's just a matter of time. You will drink. If you don't want to drink and you hang around and you don't want to smoke and you hang around and all your friends are smoking, it's a matter of time. You will smoke the thing. Do you understand? In fact, there's a very good book. Somebody on my team is reading it now, called The Power of Habits, right? And very important book because it teaches something called the habit loop. And it teaches that one of the most powerful ways to be able to create habits is to put yourself in the environment where that habit is possible. Right? Very, very important. Next is relationships. My mentor, Nia Adesanya, says, nobody ever makes it to the top. You're brought to the top. And who you know isn't as important as who knows you and what they think about you. So here's the thing, right? If you are here and you're a CEO, half of your job is relationship building. Relationship in every direction, right? Relationship with your peers, relationship with your subordinate, relationship with your mentors, and then up here, relationship with regulators, relationship with everybody, relationship with your bank, relationship with everybody. All right? Relationships are very critical. In fact, all of life is relationships. So, if you want to be successful, you need to constantly upgrade your relationship. Constantly upgrade your relationship. You know, and I decided to just show off here because so that you see my upgrade. All right. Let me give you just a bit of a. I mean, everybody knows who this man is. This is the chairman of them all. This man here runs 4 companies across 28 countries. And these 4 companies do over 1 trillion each year. Over 1 trillion. Oh, Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg. Charles Duhigg, very important. Now there's another good book called Atomic Habits, but the Power of Habits is, for me, it's a lot more powerful than Atomic Habits. This man here is the CEO of AXA Mansard, also a $1 trillion revenue company. Right? And this man here is a man that is about to make it. That's about to make it in life. All right? This is young shall grow. That is about to make it in life. You know? Abby. See, I don't make them when I calm down. I never make them. See, let me show you put something. See this, just look at this. Look at this shoe. It's today that I just realized it. Because I had to call my wife. Like, I've seen this shoe with Nia this time, and I saw it with Mr. Collar on that day. I said, what did they sup? And I now went to do a research. How many of us here know Hermes now, the popular Hermes brand, the most luxurious brand of bags and all that in the world. Hermes bags like $300,000. This shoe is a Hermes shoe, right? Yes, this is a Hermes shoe. This is a Hermes shoe. This particular shoe cost millions. This one is a Gucci. But even Gucci, yeah, I bought it in a nice place, but I don't trust this Gucci. It's not Gucci. The Gucci is not Gucci. But see, I made shoe now, Baba. Like, see this shirt now. Now that kind Baldon go make this shirt now. Baldon, he's probably on the call. Baldon, and they make all this kind of shirt. This is 600, 1.2 million, 100 million naira shirt now. This one. Make I no go talk too much. If I go spoil my rep. Right? But relationships are powerful. Let me tell you one thing that happened to me in this room. So we get into the room. So in fact, it was this today that I realized that I'm related to Dangote. Because when we get there, caller says, it was trying to introduce me. He said, Aliko, Egbon, you know that you're my own Egbon, you're my own mentor. So me, I'm not a mentor to Ezekiel. So that means you are his grand mentor. Sure, you understand? So anything do Dangote now, I go follow share money. I go follow share money. I go follow share money. You know, God keeping my life for us, but to tell this about share like, man, I go fall and say what's going on. One of his grandchildren are here. Right? So then Mr. Cullinan Someone said that you said one for mentor. If they do I not be your mentor. Oh. I never reached to mentor anybody. Oh. I never reached. No, it's the fire help. They say make I mentor. I need help now. Oh God, I beg. Oh God. Great grandchildren. They know they keep inheritance for great grandchildren. Okay, no, Bible say that they give, Abby. No, they say you keep inheritance for your children. So the tree, now my place, now me end. Because the Bible says the rich man keep inheritance for his children. Abi? Yes, now it's Bible talk now. Children. So children, color, and the children. Now me. So money no go reach you now. Go and hustle for your own money. Go and hustle for your own money. Now only me rich. He rich. So Mr. Kola then mentioned something to Dangote and says, oh, with this Iran war, man, you must be really, really happy, and everything must be working well for you. And Dangote said, no, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. That in fact, he just lost $500 million in one day. $500 million because he bought crude at a certain price, and by the time the thing landed, boom, $500 million is gone. Then he mentioned something. I would never forget that statement in my life. In fact, to be honest, I have lived almost by that creed for a while. My staff, my wife, everybody can confirm. But I had never heard anybody say it that way before. What I always say is, go and look for problems, right? But what Dangote said that day was, as an entrepreneur, you wake up and you make an assumption. And the assumption is that today there will be problems. He said that any day you end and there is no problem, you should be surprised. But any day you wake up, you should expect that problems are coming. That as devastating as they are the only things that generate wealth. Problems. You see, this is very important too, because some of us are here now. We are praying to God for peace of mind. We are praying to God that there should be no problem, that everything should be smooth. You need a work like that too. You must get comfortable with the uncomfortable nature of facing problem on a day-to-day basis. Unfortunately, I'm not the one that said it. The richest man on the continent said it when we sat down in his office. So, problem is our bread, is the way we live, is the way we have to live, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on where your mind is, right? So, but what I always say is this: constantly upgrade your relationships. You see, when you can pay your bills, right? When you can pay your bills, your school fees, your house rent, and all that, every couple, and this is for me, this is what I have done. Again, you don't have to do this. But what I have done in my life and which I am doing now is when I have paid my fees and and that, every other kobo I have is going towards being able to get me to access a high quality room. Now let me say this, right? And if I say what I want to say, we might not be able to send out the recording. So let me ask your permission. Should I say it or I should not say it? But if I say it, I will not be able to send out the recording. So should I say it or not? right? So I shouldn't say it. Okay, let me not say it. If I say it, I can't give out the recording. I wanted to talk about the power of networking, but if I say what I want to say, I can't give the recording because we have to keep. I can't because I can't tell where the recording is going to go. So let me just keep it. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. So what I do is I make sure that that's a lot of work for my people because we want to give the recording almost immediately. I make sure that at every point in time, I am constantly in a room with people doing significantly better than me, and I'm constantly trying to get into bigger rooms. See, because the opportunity to transform your life is a common conversation in a particular room that you have not entered. That is the truth. The opportunities to transform your life is a common conversation in a particular room. I would talk about it later, not now, not on this call, but I'd rather say it live so that we can edit that part out, right? Because as I don't talk them now, you get some people they work for NTA for you, you go on their this you say in his own voice before you know now VDM. Before you know that VDM now they play my record. I've not heard much of the guy. How far where's the guy? I've not heard much of the guy. I don't when I don't follow him. I don't follow him anywhere. I don't watch any of his videos. But at least if he make enough noise, go here. Right? And it's very important because and this is the way you think about it. When you have a project, even you, when you have a project, you don't give it to the best person. You give it to the best person that you know. And that's a very instructive statement because it means that you could be the best person, but if you are not known to be the best person by the right people, right, you're not going to get those opportunities. And trust me, man, I was in a room, right? And I can say this one, when someone, and I won't mention his name, was telling me about one of their businesses that generates 96 billion a month. Do you know what happens to your mind, right? Where you're in somebody's living room and the person just says that casually, like, says that casually like it's nothing. Like, you understand? Like, and the funny thing is that the number is moving the CEO out, moving a new CEO in, and that CEO's job is to double that number because the potential is there. Yes, that's the CEO's job, is to double that number. Did you hear that? Bro, I'm telling you, man, like this shit is, you leave some of these people and you can't, have you been, how many of us have been to a meeting with somebody, met with somebody, friend, a mentor, somebody, and you walk out of the place and you just know that you've been playing too small. How many of us have been in that situation? You just know that you're playing too small. You just know, like, what the hell? And then you walk out of that and you're like, what's wrong with you, Ezekiel? Like, what the hell, man? I finished those kind of meetings before. I remember one of those meetings. I had a meeting with a client in Lekki Phase 1. It was a midnight meeting. It was the meeting ended like around 12 midnight, 12:15, 12:30-ish, in the middle of the night. And they were looking, so it was a strategy meeting. And so one of the things we're doing in strategy meeting is to review their numbers, right? And so they were reviewing what their quarterly number was. How many of us know what a quarter is? A quarter is 3 months. So how many of us know that? Yes. And in 3 months, their quarterly number was 250 something billion naira. Like, I got out of that meeting, right? This was 12 midnight, like past 12 in the middle of the night. I get in my car to go home, and I picked up my phone and I called like 4 members of our mastermind group, right? I think 2 of them picked up that night. And I said, and like when somebody picks up out of their sleep, and of course, I don't call at that ungodly hour. So the person picks up like, what's up? And the first statement that comes out of my mouth is, bro, all of us are poor. We are paupers. We are fucking poor, man. Like, what is wrong with us? like, what is wrong with us? We're poor. The guy said, what do you mean? This person I'm talking about is doing business in billions, and he doesn't want all of us to hear what, because he just did 6 billion naira. I said, I'm just coming out of a meeting right now, and they called me to come and help them to strategize. I said, okay, give me strategy. They open book. I see number. I just can't. When I saw that number, I just told the CEO, see, I have questions for you. Yeah, because I cannot advise you. I remember I've seen that video. It was making around sometime around. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. No, it was in 2022. So this was in 2022. 250 billion in a quarter. I remember I've seen that video where some guy walks up to some guy and to a guy by, I think, a Benz, and says, do you know you can make 1 million in 7 days? Or those people that used to sell some network marketing stuff, right? Yeah, just doing like a parody on network marketing. And the guy says, he said, I'm already a millionaire. So the guy now says, do you know you can make 1 billion in 4 days? The guy said, I'm already a billionaire. So he looked at the guy, looked at the car. He now went on his knees and said, brother, help me. That was the level. That's the level where I did. Person called me. So let me even tell you the funny thing. So the reason why the person that called me is, so a friend of mine, I've known this friend for a very long time. This person was his boss. And in 2022, how I knew it was 2022 was that in 2022, we had our billboard right opposite Lekki Phase 1. Right opposite Lekki Phase 1. I remember then it was a 3 million, a 2.5 million naira billboard a month. And I think we took it for like 3 months. So that, my friend, was, trying to talk about, me as a strategist, and, I may have good ideas, blah, blah, blah. And it so happens that the CEO, so he was sitting at the back with the CEO and they were talking. I think it was the back of an escalator, something really cool like that. And as they were talking, which again is the reason why you have to be positioned. So as they were talking, and he was trying to explain who I was to this CEO. They stopped right in front. You know that Lekki phase one where you're coming in from toll gate, and then that traffic before you turn into Admiralty Way, right? So they stop right in front, and he looks out, and my billboard is there. So he says, "Oh, by the way, see that guy on that billboard? That is the guy I'm talking about." And so this CEO says, "You know what? If that guy has enough sense to be on that billboard, I'd like to meet with him tonight." So my friend calls me, and I go for the meeting. So this thing happened at about 8-9 p.m. in the night. So he calls me and I said, okay, yeah, I mean, of course, what am I doing in my life? And so I get to the meeting at 11 p.m. Right, I get to the place at 11 p.m. He calls maybe around 8:30. Sorry, around that 9:30 ish. I get to the place at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. This is an entire like, bro. I get there and it feels like it's like 4 p.m. Everybody who was anybody was in the room. The room was bustling. I'm like, all these guys don't give two F's about work-life balance. And when I saw the revenue, I knew that this work and life cannot balance. I turned it into a podcast. I said, "Ma," and this CEO is a woman, it's not a man. So you women don't be thinking that I'm talking about a man. Say woman CEO, woman of the blood of Jesus, woman CEO, woman. I started asking question, bro. That's the importance of meeting people, of constantly upgrading your relationships. Is that they change your definition of what's normal. They change your definition of what's acceptable to you. A lot of us, your business will stay between a reasonable, acceptable measure for you. That's the truth. Your business will stay in the area where it's reasonable for you. So if your business is been around $1 million, 10 million, 100 million, it's because it's acceptable to you. You're the one. It's not anybody. Change your environment, change your people, change your tribe. All of a sudden, you will become uneasy with what you're doing, and you would discover a new way of thinking, a new drive for living, a new bro or sis. I'm telling you. And then lastly, to this framework is accountability, right? Nobody changes. In fact, accountability is the single most important factor for real growth. People change because of accountability relationships. And anybody who's known me for a while know that I always say this, right? Find that one person that you are too afraid or too ashamed to disappoint, and you'll find consistent growth. You're too afraid, too ashamed to disappoint. Have those kind of people in your lives. You don't need a lot of them. 1, 2 people. I have those people in my life. I have a plan. I have a goal. I have something. I tell them. And I have lost the capacity to come and explain to them why something didn't work out. I do not have the capacity to make that explanation. And so once I tell these people whatever it is that I intend to do, I will do what 50 Cent advised. I will get it done or die trying. That's the truth. I will get it done or I will die trying. Right? I'm telling you. What's the name of our friend? I said our friend. 50 Cent said, "Get rich or die trying." Well, he got rich. See, what if you don't have such a person? Beautiful. You find them, you earn their attention. One of those people for me is Nia Desanya, right? It took me 6 years. Listen, 6 years to get his attention. I started to chase the opportunity to be a mentee to Nia Design in 2004. I finally got it in 2010. And I mean actively chase it. Oh. I would go for any program that he's doing. I would do every single thing. Actively chase it. Oh. Right? Nobody can be your Messiah, man. Nobody want to help you. Even you, God, you don't want to help somebody. Right? This is the truth. Nobody wants to help you. Nobody. And you too don't want to help somebody else. The person, okay, let me reverse this. Let me tell you what is taught to mentors. And you must listen to this because if you listen to this, there are two ways you can hear this. There's a way you would hear what I'm about to say now, and it will sound very cruel. And there's a way, but if you listen to it properly, it will make sense. And I heard this from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is the father of personal development. He was personal mentor to Tony Robbins, who is the greatest of all time. Do you understand? Jim Rohn said, oh, okay, cool. Jim Rohn said, never, ever help people that need it. Ever help people that deserve it. He said, because the people that need it, there's a reason why they need it. And that reason why they need it is the reason why they don't have it. He said, but help people that deserve it. He said, sometimes you meet somebody, they're not rich, they're not anything, but they can show you. And then he now ended up with, show people how to deserve it. So, how do you show people that you deserve it? It depends. If you don't have a lot of money, that's fine. Ah, beautiful. Thank you, Eddie, for saying it. Banks do not give credit to people that need it. Why? Because if you need it, the reason why you need it is the reason why you won't pay it back. But they give credit to people that deserve it, right? And how do you deserve credit from a bank? Number one, you build credit history. Number two, you keep record of the things that you're selling. You keep record of as money is coming, it's passing through properly. They look at your book, they see everything is straight. You have a guarantor, somebody in this world that says, I believe in this guy and I think he's not going to steal the money and he's going to appropriate it properly. Do you understand? You have to ask, how can I deserve the attention of this mentor? It's the same. Even with people like Mr. Kola, I have to deserve his time. He's a busy man. Let me give you an instance. And Mr. Kola were supposed to meet still. We were supposed to meet on the 24th of December. 24th of December. As a result of his schedule, we couldn't meet until this date. A day before this date was, I think this day was July 29th, I believe. Oh no, July 29th was a Wednesday, 28th was this date. July 28th. It was July 27th that we met them. We've been trying to meet since December. It took 7 months for that meeting to happen. Busy man. So the question is, how do you deserve their time? They are busy. They are busy. And by the way, July 27th, we were supposed to meet Dangote. I was in Dr. Kola's house. We were still waiting to hear from Dangote until 11:30 in the night when he told us that he's still in a meeting, no, because he's been in a meeting since like 6. That can we meet the next day at 11 o'clock? Just so that you know, play this thing. So accountability is critical. You must have people you're accountable to. And you must deserve the attention of those that you get. Right? So how do you get the attention of those mentors? If they have something that they are doing, getting through that. If they don't have something that they're doing, so let me give you an instance. Kola did not have something that he's doing. What did I do? I looked for how do I get through to him? There was a group called Adaptive Intelligence. There's a guy called Russell. And I've told everybody that cared to listen. It cost me, I've never had to give Kola any money in my life, but it cost me 62 million naira and 18 months to be able to meet him for the first time in his office in last year, July of last year. 18 months plus 62 million naira. Do you understand? You keep moving. Who are the people around them? Who are the friends? Who are the, just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And you see the importance, and please, mentors are not for solving your life problem. Mentors are not for giving you transform money. Mentors are not to help your business. In fact, mentors, and very rarely should you even tell your mentors your problem. Very rarely, because in the position for your mentor self, because your mentor don't read 48 laws of power. I'll be like now, it's not law 12, I've been at law 17. Avoid the unfortunate and unlucky. Have you read that one before? Let me tell you why some of you, your mentor is not picking your call. I will look for his law. Somebody should remind me now. I think it's law 12 or 17. I can't remember. Every time you meet your mentor, you get a problem. You go to explain your problem. Most of the time when you meet your mentor, talk about your successes. Sir, from the last time we spoke to now, this is what we have done. Every time you meet your mentor, say, hey, the devil want to kill me. And after a while, the guy go begin to fear you. Say, see this devil waiting on top of your case before you go look my matter. Make I give you space. Because the devil go to look, say, okay, I don't finish this guy. But I say this guy there around. Don't make I just end. I don't want devil problem. The devil make it look front, make it look straight. Everybody move. And I tell you, if I meet you, every time I meet you, you get problem. Law 10, thank you. Thank you very much. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Yes, thank you, sir. I swear, see, go and read that book. Oh. I tell you, go and read that book. It's a very dangerous book, but it's a very important book. You cannot dare to tell your mentor all the bad things that happen to you. Baba. Next, 48 laws of power. Next time you call and you no go pick call, you no go pick call. I'm telling you. Even in my office, people when they to the produce result, I they avoid them. I they avoid them because if you say get one spiritual problem in their life now, if that spiritual problem just jump on top of my life, I now have a double spiritual problem that I'm dealing with. So now I have to deal with their spiritual problem and my spiritual problem. No. That's called spiritual overload. It's a problem. See, if you have one question to ask, and you need to know how to ask mentors questions. You don't ask mentors questions. There are languages you don't use when you're with your mentors, right? You can't use questions like, I'm totally confused. I've tried everything, nothing is working, sir. You get the question, you get this way you go say, they never go pick your call again. See, there are ways to ask questions, right? So first things first, you have a burning question to ask. First things first, come and first share progress first. All the things, progress that you have done. When you finish sharing progress, you now say, however, there's something that I'm trying to figure out, and from your experience, how would you deal with a situation like this? Then just keep quiet. He will tell you. Once he tell you, listen, listen, what I'm about to say is very important. Once he tell you wetin work for him, he must work for you because you must not bring that problem to him again. You must leave his presence and go and kill that problem by any means possible. And the next time you're talking to him, you're talking to him about progress. So your mentor is not Holy Spirit. Oh. Now only Holy Spirit, if you cry to Holy Spirit, Father Lord, it's not working, Holy Spirit will still help you. Your mentor not be Jesus Christ. So now only Jesus Christ died for you. So you can cry to the Lord. He don't cry to your mentor. If they cry one time, two times, he go they avoid you. The other way that you can build accountability is by being a part of something, of a group that can keep you accountable. And I also use that. I'm also in adaptive intelligence. I have a couple of groups here and there. I have a couple of friends, that when like in WhatsApp group, and in that group, you understand, like we hold ourselves accountable to a lot of things, right? The funny thing, in this whole world, I only have like 3 friends that I would say like friend. I keep in touch with them almost every day. We talk pretty much every day, right? So, but for those of us that are looking for an opportunity, you don't have where you can be accountable. Good. The 90-day program is starting tomorrow. All right. So what are we doing with this? Yeah, one of the groups man is convention group man. So what are we doing with the 90-day program? It's 90 days, right? And I'm going to tell you some stories. So see this guy here, the 90-day program was very instrumental to transforming their lives. Is worth over $1 billion for him. They've done at least a year and a half ago. I think we had a discussion of about 2.1 or 2.2 billion that they did in the first 90 days of the year. He's crossed over, and this was about 2 years ago, 2 Januaries ago, over 1.6 or 2.6 billion 1.6 billion, I think, in January alone, which superseded, I think, what they did the previous year or something like that. All right. So, I mean, like tons and tons of people. So what are we doing? From tomorrow morning, what we decided we're going to do is that the videos for the 90-day program, we do these daily videos, we would give you access to the daily videos from day 1 to 30, but only members of the convention community will get access to the Q&A, because the Q&A, we're going to be having Q&A sessions. I think we're having a session with Mr. Jose first. He was owing 13 financial institutions, but now he has a multi-billionaire business that loans money out to other people. So he's going to be with us. We're going to have all these people with us in each week, every Thursday. But that Thursday meeting is only exclusive to those of us in the convention community. Right? Every single Thursday. Yes. It was owing 13 financial institutions. When you borrow money from this one to pay this one, to borrow this one, borrow this one, you can't owe like 13. Exactly. You come and hear a story on Thursday. So from this Thursday, from tomorrow we'll send in the introductory classes. Yes, so for those of us that want to join the convention community, send a message to Melvis. If you send a message to that number, you get access, right? I think, okay, yeah, so you can send a message to this number. Yeah. So remember, the convention is not just 2 days, it's 2 days plus 3 months before the convention, 2 months after the convention, right? So you don't have to pay everything to join the convention. You have to have paid everything before the convention anyways. But if you've paid some part of it, I think 150, 200, you can join the convention community itself. So if you want to do that, you can talk to um, Melvis, right? So there are benefits. Just want to go through these benefits and then I can take questions. So there's 90-day program. We're going to give you the recording for the previous conventions. We're going to do that after from day 31. We'll start releasing that. We have videos, convention series like what's happening now. But we also have opportunities for some people to get platinum tickets. If you have 10 of your team members that are coming or 10 of your friends that are coming together, we would upgrade your ticket to a platinum ticket. It comes with a room at a hotel. It comes with a session, a full day session with me. It comes with the opportunity to access. Oh, by the way, let me say this, right? Very, very important. This year, so remember that picture that we had Dangote? The discussion with Dangote at that time was that he should come to the convention. He's told us verbally that he will come. We're working out the details on his calendar and all of that. So, but this is why this is important for you, right? This is why this is important for you. For those people who have the plan, no. So before the convention, we always have the night before the convention, we always have a session with the mastermind and the speakers. So all the speakers, we try to get all the speakers in the room, to just answer questions for our mastermind members, right? And but we open that to people with platinum tickets. So if you have 10 of your team members, or you facilitate 10 people paying, your friends and all that, you get them together, everybody pays, you send it to us, send us their names, we would upgrade your ticket to a platinum ticket, and then we can take it up from there, right? Yeah. So also, Mr. Afai also said it. Sophia Afai said it, like, don't ask them for money. Don't ever ask your mentors for money. Ever. The moment you ask them for money, you have become a beggar, not a protege. Eh? Doesn't mean they're not going to give you money. They can if they want to. But don't ask them. Don't ask them. They're not a mentor. A mentor is not a father. I said it cost me 62 million naira to access somebody. Is you and I gift now. I gift. Oh, mastermind should have a certificate. So my challenge with certificates is that I don't like to give them personally. That's me personally. And I mean, anybody, but doesn't mean that we don't give out certificates. Yes, we do. I mean, anybody who asks for it, we do have them. But my challenge with certificates is that I feel like certificates is proof that you attended. No, you can't upgrade, unfortunately. You can't upgrade to a platinum ticket without a team. You can't, unfortunately. I think there's an upgrade to a VIP ticket, so you get an opportunity to sit in front, but you don't get all the other things, and you still don't get that meeting. That meeting is only for people. So let me give you the rationale why, right? So if somebody buys a platinum ticket, it suggests to us that that person is eligible for us to work with, say in the mastermind, for example, right? Because they also get the first right of refusal for the mastermind. And so money is hard to come by, right? And I like to be very functional. in the sense that I think that if somebody is spending all that money, I don't like, again, you all know we don't do sponsorships for the convention, right? And for the same reasons, right? But people shouldn't just give us money. People should bring people to the room. In fact, when we do partnerships offer, when somebody wants to, get like a fireside chat and then all, I tell them, whatever you want to give, convert it to the amount of people that be in the room. Just better. This money is not easy to get. But if you're in any of our communities, you get the recording. That's easy. So right now, these are the speakers that we have confirmed. We have Nia Desoya. This space here, the reason why we put this space, those of you that have seen our billboards in Maryland and all that, is Dangote that has this space. So we just kept him there so that when we release them, and by the way, please, you people, in fact, now discount is even difficult. It's not even possible right now, but you better pay. See, this event is predominantly for community members. My biggest concern is that the moment we put Dangote on this roster, there will be people that are not our community members that will jump in. They will jump in because Dangote very rarely speaks, and this is a business conference. They will jump in. If they jump in, I'll be dealing with the spirit of pride, though. Me and the spirit of pride go the rest today because pride, I got the proud though. I got the pride in, and I just did. So no, they don't have to be members of your team. They could be your friends, but it just tells us you're somebody of influence, right? It could be your friends, but you would coordinate them, get all of them to pay maybe to you and send it to us, and then we'll be good on that, right? So we have Nia this year, of course. We have Leke Alda. Leke Alda is coming this year. It took us we're trying to get Leke Alda for 4 years, but it's finally coming. We're having our grand mentor, Dr. Ini Abimbola. Those of us in the mastermind know she's a de facto mentor of the mastermind program. Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, very, very, very critical. So, in fact, let me tell you Dr. Olumide Emmanuel's topic. Dr. Olumide Emmanuel's topic is 50 billion in debt. The way in, the way out, and lessons learned. Right? So, it's coming to talk to us about how he got in and out of debt. And then we have Dr. Rex. This one is for another speaker. I don't want to tell you her name. She's a she. Dr. Rex is the most connected African that I know. I mean, if I need to see, which I have by God's grace, seeing a couple of presidents in the continent, he's the one that I would call. He'll put a call through. I'll be in a room with the president, like sharp. Right? Oh, somebody, see, I know somebody's going to come up with this. Well, why do we have two ladies? You people should bring us ladies. See, Dr. Enis knows this thing. I don't know what the problem is, it's probably me. But even I brought this up with Dr. Eni, and I don't want to gaslight anybody here. But you know how many ladies, how many top women that we've sent letters to? And it starts with their PAs not regarding. I mean, in fact, I took it to Dr. Eni and I said, look, Dr. Eni, what's happening? Dr. Eni said, look, it's the problem everywhere. Everybody she knows, she says she gets too many speaking engagements because a lot of women would not respond. For whatever reason, I do not know. And I don't want to call names here. There are women, top women in this country that I have personally blacklisted that we would never invite. Thank God Mrs. Wemima is here telling us. It's a real problem. I don't know. And these guys, some of these people are, they're not, some of them are not even at the level that we should invite. We don't want to invite them that, okay, let's just invite them. They need a grill. First, their PA, there's one of them like that. Their PA would not respond to you. Do you understand? I'm not going to enter that place. It's a very touchy something. I'm telling you, it's a serious, very serious problem. To just get them to come and share their experience. I'm telling you, like, if you think about every top businesswoman in this country, if you think about 20 of them, I can guarantee you that I have reached out to 15 of them. And when I say reach out, I don't mean just send a letter to their office. In some cases, met with some of them. They've seen what we've done at the scale at which we do it. And for whatever reason, God will help us. We have Dr. Simeon is building massive business. And of course, we have our MC. See, somebody said, I provided media coverage for a political conference with Padetomi, Funsha Doherty, and many other speakers. We reached out to many prominent women. None was interested to even respond. They don't respond. I don't know, man. I don't know. Right? So, good. But if you have, though this year, we're pretty much done with our speakers. But again, if you have a prominent lady who's built a business exceeding 500 billion to a trillion, guess what? It's not Michael. It's not about conservativeness. There's something there, man. I don't even know how to explain it to you, but Moko not explain to herself. Moko not today explain. But thank you so much. So tomorrow morning we kick off the 90-day program. I'd like to take any questions now. Any questions? Thank you so much. So I noticed something about rich people. They read books. Oh, let me allow you unmute yourself if you can. Please, can you shed more light on that for a teenager who wants to grow? Where do I start from? Where do you start from? With books? Just read. Listen, read books, not podcasts. So let me tell you why I prefer books to podcasts. Audio books, physical books, not podcasts. I'll tell you why. Podcasts are oftentimes optimized for virality. So the advice you're getting in a podcast might be sensational, but might not be as practical as you'd hope. Oh, yes. Yeah, there's series of assignments. It's in there. Are you already in the convention group, or we have assignments on a day-to-day basis? Every video comes with an activity for you to do. Focus on your goods and business expansion. Oh. Don't see networking is after you have solved your basics. So if you define money, find money. Oh. It's when you have some money to spare that you can now start to build to network. You no go the network where you're not supposed to network. Oh. No go pay 60 million naira for networking. You don't get money to buy a market. Oh. You go network to the you will network into the abyss. I beg go. If you need to buy goods, buy goods. But at every level, find an accountability relationship. At every level, find an accountability relationship. For some people, being in the convention community might be accountability enough. And I'm there, right? For example, for those of you in the convention community, right? I'm the one personally posting the messages. I'm the one personally answering your questions. I'm the one personally doing all of that. At least you get my attention in that regard. Sure you understand? Someone's asking, what if I'm trying a particular question for a mentor, just want to be around them? Yeah, you can be there. But if you're around a mentor, you have to be useful to them now. You have to be useful to them. Why do you want to be around them? Because don't forget, right? These guys are so project driven. They don't have time now. They don't have time. I told you I tried to see somebody. He said let us meet December 24th. We ended up meeting in July. Do you understand? Someone asked how much is the convention. This is at 850. We ended up meeting in July. So is it when I now meet him in July and I say, I want to sit down, I want to be hearing your wisdom. Papa, just be speaking to me. Speak to me, Papa. Bro, you guys get where to carry you go there now. Oh, God. How do you scale up your business? You join the 90-day program. Because that's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about how do you get everything you did last year done in 90 days. But just for the sake of answering your question, you find what's working and you do more of what's working and do less of what's not working. You scale. I cannot run through the points again. By the grace of God, you get the recording. Who is Hamed that needs to attend Strategy Factory? Yes, Mr. Joseph, you will make heaven. Someone asked about Adesua Okumborot. Adesua, while she's great, right, she doesn't fit the profile of the people that we're trying to invite, unfortunately. Right? You see, both for our mastermind and for our convention, right, our focus is on business people who are doing over $1 trillion, who manage or oversee $1 trillion in revenue, minimum. Right? So it matters to us. And it also matters to us the business, like the kind of business. Because we want people that are operators, people that have their hands dirty in business. Adesua, while she's great, doesn't fit that profile for us. Yeah, so that's the challenge. Right? And it started with us about 10 years ago. We only brought people in the community who did over $1 billion. So now we have hundreds of people doing over $1 billion. And now we only want to talk to people. We only want people to talk to us if they're doing over $1 trillion in revenue, right? Because we're trying to get you to $1 trillion in revenue. You become more of who you listen to. So this way we'll probably make it to the convention someday. But we all need to keep working hard. Trisha Beans does not fit the profile. Tara doesn't fit the profile. By the way, we've tried to invite Mbuka Washika so many times. Let me not say what's happening there. I have a serious beef with her PA. I don't have a problem with Mbuka Washika, but that PA that we've tried to reach out to, that she's even, I beg, make her just calm down. Make her calm down. But Trisha Beans doesn't fit the profile, right? Trisha Beans doesn't fit the profile for our convention. Tara doesn't fit the profile for our convention, at least not yet. There are members of our community, who's, of our mastermind, whose business was significantly dwarf. DDK doesn't fit the profile at all. These people that are talking, these people that are calling names, Christopher doesn't fit the profile at all. Wait, these people that are talking, are you people inside our community at all? Because the people that are talking, I know that they're not inside this community. And I'm not saying this as an insult to them. Someone doesn't fit the profile. I'm not saying this as an insult to them. They are doing great. I'm just saying that we have a profile, right, of the kind of people that we can invite to our events, right? And because of the kind of people that we serve, I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to say, right? Right? And the basic profile, the base is that this person must oversee a trillion naira revenue or $1 billion valuation business, right? So our profile is not that the person is popular, because you guys are calling popular names. I don't care that people are popular. Some of the people that we've brought to our convention are not popular, right? I don't care that the person is popular. I just care that the person would come and would. So last year we brought Dr. Adaeze Udensi. Dr. Adaeze is not popular, but she's a 3-time bank CEO. Do you guys understand who a bank CEO is? She's a bank CEO. She's been a bank CEO in Nigeria. She's been a bank CEO in the UK. She's been a bank CEO in Canada. So it matters. Who is these people? Who is this EBA Grace? Say near this has access. See. Please. You should just calm down. On the Bukaramashika's matter, nobody should mention Bukaramashika again, because I have a Bukaramashika's personal number. Personal number. So just don't worry. If she's not in the convention, it's because she cannot be. So let's not go into that discussion. I have a personal number. I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship. I have a strong desire to become financially independent. I started a business in the past, but failed because I couldn't give them enough time and attention. Position with demanding job, limited capital, strong desire, build successful business. How would you approach it? I would not quit my job, Mr. David. You don't quit your job to start a business. You quit your job to grow a business. Anything you cannot do in your spare time, you cannot do in your full time. Period. The reason why your business is not working is not because you do not have time to put on it. No. So what I would do is I would find a skill. For example, I would develop the skill to sell. I would find somebody who's doing something that I believe in, a product, a service, and I would sell it for a commission. And I would do that long enough until the income can pay my fees, my expenses consistently for 6 months. And only then would I leave to start anything. There's only one caveat under which I would suggest that you leave and start immediately. And that's if you have no boyfriend, no girlfriend. You know, these days they ask guy if you get a boyfriend. So if you have no boyfriend, you have no wife, you have no relationship, you have not, it's only you in the world. Because you cannot come and bring somebody's daughter to come and suffer with you. I know when they tell people say, don't follow who has television, follow who has vision. But it's still good make you get vision, get television. Nah, Abi Melvis. She don't go make person get television with vision, get small car self. And somebody added, if you don't get siblings, you must be the last born for this thing to work. So no, you can pay for the convention. Send a message to Melvis. The convention is the back door. You can come into the community through the convention without attending the strategy factory before you go to the convention. But eventually, you would still have to go to the strategy factory ultimately. So if you can do both, strategy factory is next week, and then you can also go to the convention. So So please, Mr. David, uh have some vision, have a small television before you bring somebody's daughter. And if you already have somebody's daughter in your life, Baba, follow your walk, oh. Follow your walk, oh. Cannot go give you advice. Because if I give you advice, now I go say, that useless mentor. You tell me make I resign. Nah, don't they drink Gary. You go drink more. So I beg. Just day your day. See, let me tell you the truth, you don't need to be an entrepreneur to be successful in life. And that is the truth. What you need is to be valuable. And what does that mean? It means if you have a job, be so valuable, your organization is afraid of losing you. It's the same. If you have a business, be so valuable, your customers are afraid of losing you. It's value that pays you. It's not a business, it's not your job, it's value that pays you. So if you increase your value, if you can increase your value within a system, you don't have to start a business. Some of the people that we all admire, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, they're bloody employees, but they have value. Okay. Good night, everyone. Any other question? Any other question? I can take maybe one or I can do 4 more minutes.
Mr. Ezekiel, can you please check your message?
When you say message, like my phone?
Yes, please.
Somebody send me a message on my phone?
Hi, Melvis.
Okay.
Melvis.
Oh, Melvis. Why do you sound like a different person? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So if you are interested in Melvis the guide. If you're interested in, so the strategy factory is different from the convention, right? The strategy factory is the 1-day workshop. The convention is so typically the convention is essentially for people in the community who might have attended the strategy factory. So that's important, right? So if you haven't attended the strategy factory, you should attend the strategy factory. But there are people that come to the convention without attending strategy factory first and then attend the strategy factory later. But the strategy factory and the convention are two different things. So, Uchenna, just post your number. Melvis will call you and she'll help you understand every single thing, right? Good. And anybody else who's interested in learning about the convention or about the 90-day program, just post your number. I'll just give 2 minutes. Just post your number, your phone number in the chats. Yeah, just post your phone number. Just post your phone number, and we would. You get the details. You get the details from Melvis. But tomorrow, where is this one? Oh, okay. But tomorrow, okay. So, but tomorrow, you get a call from Melvis, and yes. So praise. The 850K is for the convention, but it gives you access to everything for 5 months. The 90-day program, the convention, and then the 2 months afterwards. Yes, you get that. So I would call it an evening rather. You can pay for the convention. You can take the snapshot, send this, and then we can get you all sorted out already. Oh, somebody has paid it. Interesting. Please, if you do, please send the details to this phone number here, please. This phone number here, please. Should I do something for those who will pay this night? Maybe do like a 5-minute call for them. Okay. Maybe I can try that, right? So I'll give another 5 minutes. If you pay tonight, oh, like now, between now and 12 midnight, don't go pay tomorrow morning, ask me a question. Pay tonight, send a message to, again, like I said, you don't have to pay all, just pay part of it. I think the minimum is like 200 or 150 or 300. I don't know. Talk to Melvis. If you do that and you send the details to Melvis, I would schedule an opportunity to talk with you this week. I'll start tomorrow, right? But I'll do that, right? So I think that's about it. Are we all good? Are we good? Are we good? I think we're good. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. Have a fantastic, fantastic evening.
Now let's go to the.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I love
Good
you.
night. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Good night.
Ezekiel.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Mr. Ezekiel. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.